A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic display reminiscent of a Hollywood movie, immigration agents clad in military green surrounded MacArthur Park in Los Angeles on Monday. The agents arrived with horses and armored vehicles, rifles drawn, and tactical gear on, ready to execute what many in the community feared would be a targeted operation against undocumented immigrants. However, as the operation unfolded, it became apparent that few of their supposed targets were present. Rumors of the raid had circulated since Sunday, with flyers warning residents that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC, colloquially known as La Migra, would be in the area. A senior Department of Homeland Security official declined to comment on whether any arrests were made during the operation, stating, "We don't comment on ongoing enforcement operations." The presence of federal agents did not go unnoticed by local officials. Mayor Karen Bass expressed outrage during an impromptu press conference at City Hall, stating, "It is outrageous and un-American that we have federal armed vehicles in our park. What happened to the criminals, the drug dealers, the violent individuals? Who were in the park today were children. It was their summer camp, their summer day camp." MacArthur Park, situated in the heart of a dense immigrant community, has long been a refuge for families living in nearby apartments. The park is filled with playgrounds and fields, but it has also gained notoriety for prevalent drug use. Despite ongoing efforts by the city to revitalize the area, the community remains marked by poverty and a thriving street culture. City Council member Eunice Hernandez, who represents the area, condemned the operation, stating, "MacArthur Park is the Ellis Island of the West Coast. It was chosen as this administration's latest target precisely because of who lives there and what it represents: resilience, diversity, and the American dream." The timing of the sweep coincided with President Trump's recent signing of a budget bill that allocates significant funding to ramp up immigration enforcement and detention levels nationwide. Los Angeles has become a focal point of Trump's mass deportation strategy, with over 1,600 arrests reported between June 6 and June 22. Mayor Bass criticized the lack of a coherent plan, saying, "There's no plan other than fear, chaos, and politics." The operation began around 10:30 a.m., with agents amassing at nearby locations before converging on the park. Upon their arrival, they were met with crowds of residents shouting, "Get the F out," and "Get out." Mayor Bass, alerted to the military presence, arrived at the park and engaged in a phone conversation with U.S. Border Patrol Sector Chief Greg Bovino, who has been leading enforcement efforts in Los Angeles. Bass could be heard demanding, "Can you leave ASAP?" as demonstrators chanted in the background. Activists had been on high alert for weeks, with flyers in English and Spanish warning of the impending raid. Ron Gaucher, a member of the independent political organization Unión del Barrio, described the operation as a big, perverse publicity stunt aimed at demonstrating force rather than actual enforcement. On the morning of the operation, the atmosphere around MacArthur Park was noticeably tense, with many undocumented immigrants and even those legally residing in the U.S. exercising caution in their daily lives. Maikima Namir, a local resident, recounted witnessing the chaos unfold during his morning walk, stating, "This is what my morning walk turned into. They're terrorizing our neighborhood." As the day progressed, some people returned to the park to play, but the absence of street vendors was palpable. Fernando Rodriguez, who runs a small shop across the street, expressed concern for the future of his business, stating, "It's really sad. The nightmare is just beginning." The operation has drawn criticism from immigrant rights groups, who recently filed a lawsuit against Bovino and others in the Trump administration, alleging a pattern of unconstitutional practices during immigration raids. The lawsuit argues that these raids have targeted individuals based on race and lack due process. A hearing is scheduled for later this week in federal court, with a coalition of 18 states, including California, supporting the lawsuit. They claim the unlawful actions of immigration agents have disrupted everyday life in immigrant communities, turning once vibrant neighborhoods into ghost towns. In response to the backlash, Bovino warned on social media that immigration agents would likely return to MacArthur Park and other areas in Los Angeles, stating, "Illegal aliens had the opportunity to self-deport. Now we'll help things along a bit." As the dust settles from the operation, the community remains on edge, grappling with the implications of federal enforcement actions on their daily lives and the ongoing struggle for immigrant rights. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.